I just had a chance to sit down with some local police officers, but also community leaders, as well as folks who themselves have been victims or whose families have been victims of gun violence, to hear their ideas about how we can protect our kids and address the broader epidemic of gun violence in this country. Because if we're serious about preventing the kinds of tragedies that happen in Newtown or the tragedies that happen every day in places like Chicago or Philadelphia or Minneapolis, then law enforcement and other community leaders must have a seat at the table. All the folks standing here behind me today, they're the ones on the front line of this fight. They see the awful consequences, the lives lost, the families shattered. They know what works, they know what doesn't work, and they know how to get things done without regard for politics. So we've had a very productive discussion, and one of the things that struck me was that even though those who were sitting around that table represented very different communities, from big cities to small towns, they all believe it's time to take some basic, common-sense steps to reduce gun violence. We may not be able to prevent every massacre or random shooting. No law or set of laws can keep our children completely safe. But if there's even one thing we can do, if there's just one life we can save, we've got an obligation to try. And that's been the philosophy here in Minneapolis. A few years back, you suffered a spike in violent crime involving young people. So this city came together. You launched a series of youth initiatives that have reduced the number of young people injured by guns by 40%. 40%. So when it comes to protecting our children from gun violence, you've shown that progress is possible. We still got to deal with the 60% that remains, but that 40% means lives saved. Parents whose hearts aren't broken. Communities that aren't terrorized and afraid. We don't have to agree on everything to agree it's time to do something. That's my main message here today.